My fiancé and my fiancé's mother. The dates of the events are from 2013 to 2016. It's been a long time since the event, and I have never told anyone in my new life about it. I'm going to let my fingers speak for themselves tonight while I drink some good wine. I thought I had found the right woman. We met our last year of college. We hit it off right away when we met at a party. She had beautiful white hair and skin that looked like it had been in the sun. She was like Kate Upton in that she was kind, caring, understanding, a good listener, and had a busy life with lots of friends. During the 3 years we knew each other, it was great how our groups of friends grew together. A lot of our friends started going out with each other. Some of the best times of my life happened there. She had a degree in contract law, and I was going for a master's in business. All of this is to say that we were successful on our own. I'm not a slouch when it comes to looks, though. Even though I wasn't a great athlete, I was built. But I was and still am very shy, and I hadn't been in many relationships before I met her. We fell in love the first night we met. The first night we talked all night. Then we texted and called each other every day, went on dates once a week. And when I started my new job a year later, she moved in with me. Her family loved me, and I loved them. She mostly talked to her mother because her father was rude to everyone. It was a quick love story. I asked her to marry me after 2.5 years of happy trips abroad, hiking, and high-class holidays. Yes, she said. I was thrilled. She was getting everything ready for the wedding. We talked about our plans for the future, like getting a house and going on family trips. When we both get home to our apartments one night, she seems a little distant. I think I noticed right away because we were always getting along so well. After the proposal, this would only happen about once a week for the first month. After that, it happened more often. I wouldn't have known unless I used to watch a lot of Reddit videos on YouTube, so I waited and watched. When she ignored me, it would only last for a couple of hours. After that, she would be fine again. But after 6 months, and before her wedding in a year, she was like this almost every night. Love was still great. While we were in Louisville, Kentucky, for Thanksgiving we lived just north of Washington, D.C., she was rude to me in front of her mother. Our relationship with her parents was still great. Now, her mom was a very smart woman. I could hear her daughter and her calling each other while she spoke to her. They went back to the rest of the family after some angry but mumbled words and went on like nothing was wrong. I told myself I'd ask her about it later, and I did. She didn't want to talk about it and told me to wait until we got home to talk about it. I agreed because I loved her very much and believed we could handle anything. Her mother was like her, but older. The same beautiful looks. She has long, thick blonde hair with only a few grays. This will come in handy later. At home I asked her about it, but she didn't want to talk about it. After being pushed for a week, she finally admitted that a guy at work was interested in getting to know her better. She wanted to be honest, so she gave me her phone. As I looked through it, I saw that all the texts that would have happened while she was pulling away from me had been erased. The texts didn't say anything bad. We had the same phone plan, so I did go into her phone settings and turn on her location. Really. I thought it would help me see that she wasn't doing anything wrong. Was I wrong? The weekend after Thanksgiving, the 2nd, her company had a Christmas party. I was going to go, but I got food sickness and had to cancel. Her friend picked her up from our place because they were going to have a DD for the evening and drink a latte. We were going to be out all night, so I told her to have a great time, and I'd see her in the morning. I was throwing up and couldn't get off the toilet for more than 30 minutes, so I grabbed my phone and checked to see where she was. It started out as a restaurant, then turned into a bar for the company party. All of this didn't bother me until I saw her phone stop in a hotel downtown. I was unhappy in more than 3 ways at this point. I'm throwing up my butt mouth, and now my soul. At 2 a.m., I finally fell asleep because I was so tired. When I woke up at 7 a.m., she was still at the hotel. She finally gets home at noon, and I'm feeling better. She really likes me, and I asked her about the night before without letting her know I knew where she was. They talk about the meal, the party, and the bar. Then she says she went to her girlfriend's house to spend the night. The first lie. She has to work 3 to 4 days a week later, and later for the next 3 months. When I ask her about it, she gets more and more protective. When her fiancé didn't get home until late one night, I talked to her mom. Because of how she read her daughter's body language, her mom told me that she thought her daughter might be leaving our relationship after the Thanksgiving talk. It was also said that her daughter was becoming less close to her when they texted once a week. I kept this secret from everyone, even though I had a lot of ideas about it. Following 2 weeks, I was given a new job at work that required me to fly to the Midwest every Monday through Friday for the next 5 weeks, beginning in 2 weeks. That meant I would be making more money, and when I told my fiancée, she was thrilled for me. But I didn't think she was as excited as I was. I ordered 4 motion-activated spy cams for my apartment online. 1 is in the kitchen, 1 is in our bedroom, and 1 looks down our hallway. 4 are in the living room entryway. It was hard to see them on the Wi-Fi network because they were so small and linked to the internet through a secret network. After giving the cams a password, I waited. During my first week away, she spent the first 2 nights with friends and never worked late. Someone came over the 3rd night. I was very angry. There I am in my hotel room, yelling at the monitor and calling her every name in the book. Then they went all the way, first on the couch and then in our bed. I didn't know she could bend over backwards for him. As I watched them get it on, I call her to see how her day went, which was the worst part. When her phone rings, she puts up her hand to tell him to stop butting her and picks up the call. When I asked her why she was breathing so heavily, she said she was working out at the gym. She goes back to doing the dirty as soon as the call is over. When I got home Friday night, I didn't pay attention to her and went straight to bed. I got up early Saturday morning and went riding. I was so mad that I forgot I had biked more than 50 miles from our flat. I had only biked 30 miles before this. I did go 105.6 miles that day. When I got back, I was so tired that I took a shower. Then she and I went out with our friends that night and had a great time. Do you break up with someone and they don't know it? Is that breakup romance? I was about to burst. Grief, anger, and a sense of betrayal were all going through my mind and heart. The person who used to pay so much attention didn't know any of this. I loved her so much that it hurt so much. I finally told one of our friends about it, and he said that everyone had known for months. Finally, they told me that they felt bad for me, but after that, no one said a word to me again. That's why they stopped asking us to go on dates with them. I had not seen it before. But I could see that about 3 months before. They were inviting us / me less and less. That's why I chose to try to get her back. I planned to spoil her in every way over the next weekend. I took her out to dinner, gave her massages and rubs, and talked to her about my plans for the future and how much I loved her. When she began to cry after her 4th glass of wine, I knew I was making progress. I could feel the guilt rising to the surface. When I asked her what was wrong, she couldn't say anything because she was crying. Then I told her that if she needed to talk to me about something she did in the past or a problem she was having, I would be happy to do so, if she needed to. Forgive me, I would be happy to do so, and move on. She could only say one thing: I love you so much, being told that by her hurt, because I had 4 videos of her and the other guy getting it on in our apartment. Over the next 8 weeks, they went on trips to the Midwest that would finish up after 10 weeks. I caught her getting romantic with someone at work for more than 41 hours. While I was gone, she never worked late. I tried to pay more attention to her every weekend, but she became farther away every week. I was done watching this for 8 weeks, so I made a 12-step plan to leave. 1. Collection of proof. 2. Get her out of the way so I can carry out my plan. I booked a 2-week vacation for just the 2 of us at an all-inclusive resort in Barbados. She was thrilled. The week before the trip, I told her to bring a friend because I had to cancel. It was over when she didn't seem upset that I couldn't go instead. She got coworker 3 to go. Get rid of our apartment deal. It would run out 3 days into her trip, and I was the only one who signed it. 4. Get a job somewhere else. The company I had been working for in the Midwest had offered me a new job with a little more money. 5. Move somewhere else. There is a room for me in that area. Do the following when she's gone. 6. Take her to the airport, then pack up all her things at home. The same day, Saturday. 7. Get a new email address and phone number. Stop using all social media. Monday. 8. Separate us totally when it comes to money. Taken all the money out of our joint accounts and then closed them. I put all of her money in a bag and put it with her things. Monday. 9. Movers, please pack up all of my things and send them west. Monday. 10. Bring everything she owns to her mom's house 600 miles away. The back and bed of my F-250 crew cab are big enough to hold all of my fiancé's things. From Tuesday to Saturday. 11. Show her mother the proof. 12. Begin my new life. I didn't want to break the law, so I made sure that none of her things were missing. Getting all of her things packed up was really hard. I've never cried so hard before. I've read a lot of posts on Reddit where so say they will never do it again after getting caught, but they don't. I really wanted her to tell the truth so that we could forgive her and move on. She didn't. She was so close to telling them twice, but her secret was too hard for her. I left our flat north of DC for good on Tuesday morning. It took 10 hours to get to her mom's house. I wasn't ready for what happened when I got there. I got to her mom's house around 8 o'clock at night. I thought she would be shocked to see me because I hadn't told her I was coming down. Their neighborhood had gates, so I had to buzz her house from the front gate. When I pulled up, she was waiting outside. When I went to see her, I could tell she had been crying. When I asked her what was wrong, she sobbed and hugged me, telling me she thought her husband was cheating on her with a younger thinner, and more beautiful woman. I was so confused that I just held her for 10 minutes. She cried and snotted all over my right shoulder. I asked if we could have a talk when she finally calmed down. When we walked in, I asked where her husband was and she said that he had told her that he was going fishing with his friends at a house an hour away. She then said that he doesn't like fishing. I was told all the signs she had seen, and it had been going on for something like a year. We looked into it a bit and found a credit card hold charge for a 5-star hotel that was only 20 minutes away. She later found out that her husband was indeed there for 4 nights, cheating on her with his lover. There are 2 peas in a pod. I told you. What? She replied. There are 2 peas in a pod. I said it again. Your daughter is cheating on me and your husband is cheating on you. So I came here to leave her things and go to Forex. I put the proof in a binder and showed her screen pictures I had taken. She looked at me blankly after reading the first 3 or 4 pages. For 30 minutes we both cried and hugged each other. She looked at me and said, "Well, tonight, the only thing that can be done is for you and me to drink these 3 bottles of Moscato." She then grabbed 2 wine glasses and a bottle of Moscato wine and walked out to their private pool deck, asking, "Are you coming out here or are you going to get ducking revenge? We ducked all night and all day for 3 days after that." I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to get blue balls. I slid into every hole her pretty body had to offer. During that time, I saw Medner on her at least 25 times. When those days were over, we said goodbye with tears in our eyes and I drove to my new home. When my now ex-fiancée got back, she told me about everything that had happened. It was amazing when my fiancée came back. I hung up the phone the morning after she got back. So when the plane landed and she called to ask for a ride, the phone said it was unplugged. It looks like her boyfriend took her home. He left after dropping her off. She saw a strange couple moving in when she went to the door. When I answered the door, she went crazy. I lost track of how many times she tried to call me because the number kept going out. Since her coworker was already married, she went to stay with her girlfriends for a while. If she called her mom in a hurry, her mom would tell her that I had come down and dropped off all of her things, along with all of her money, 600 miles away. My fiancée and I had more ducks in the last 6 months than she had in 3 days. Her mom didn't tell her that. She did tell her that she knew she was cheating on me, though. I told her that I had found a new job, a place to live, and a business that were all far away from her and all of our friends. She also told her that her mother was leaving her father because he had been cheating on her. She must have cried for days and missed work for a week. But alas, she found comfort in the arms of her married lover. I never told her mom where I was. It was no longer a part of my life at all. My fiancé's mom was the only thing that connected me to that old life. She still knows our secret. Fiancé was the most ghosted. In short, fiancé cheated. Gave her up to start my own life. She went with her mom. Hey guys, please thumbs up, leave comments and follow. It would help me a lot. Thanks. This story is so great. It got so bad that you had to duck her mom. Material for movies. 10/10, let's hire The Rock and some other people to do this crap. Okay, now send that butt movie to the married couple and see how they react. The guy's married wife should know what her husband does when she's not looking. Epic beyond epic. Nice and classy. Everything in your plan went so quickly and easily, which amazes me the most, and the cherry on top that you were able to get. Seriously, who would believe this story? LMAO. I have no idea how anyone could think this is real. You have great writing skills, but people don't do the things you're talking about, and the story sounds more like erotica than something that really happened. This is by far my best revenge story I have ever read. I have read a lot of other revenge stories as well. You did a great job of getting away without having to deal with her nonsense, and also of ducking her mom. I can't think of a better way to get away from a crazy thief than this one. I've also been cheated on in this way more than once, and I didn't find out until it was too late to get even. But next time, I'm going to make it a point to get payback in a romantic way like you did. You make me want to do better. To make things worse in the belly, you should have married the mom.